From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Welcome back to this Thursday here at Kentucky for some short track racing. Going to be a lot of action. We've got the Elite Performance 200 and our Wheels America Cup Series. Everybody at home, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Myself, Jacob Emery, is in the booth, and we've got one gentleman who's been gone a couple weeks but is back tonight, Brandon Bowie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. How are you doing?
Oh man, seems like I haven't been up here in forever. But I'm doing pretty good. Really interested to see how this race is going to go. A lot of updates and changes has happened to iRacing over the last past 24, 48 hours or so. So these guys got a new tire that they're going to be racing on. So it should be an interesting race.
Yeah, gonna be interesting. Tuesday brought a lot of action like it always does on a short track, but Kentucky, man, it's a fun one. We've got 3 stages. Stage 1 ends at 30 laps, stage 2 ends at 70, and then your finish at 125. A lot on the line as we get later in this season, as guys are trying to get points to get into that playoff run. Some guys have already locked it up, but we've got others on the bubble trying to get into that position so they can be there for the money. This is where it counts, and Kentucky with this short track is going to be a lot of fun. Brandon, what do you think strategy, and what do you think these guys are trying to do out here to get to that top 10 finish with this setup? We got a sunny day out here, not a night race, which we typically see. Today it's about 1 o'clock, I believe. What are your thoughts on that?
I think honestly with these guys, like I said before, with the new build that came out a couple days ago, um, it's really a unknown for these drivers. Depending on if they were able to put in some practice in before tonight's race. But if they can go out there and I say finish a solid top 10, I would say that's a good day. That's take those points and move on to the next race. But it's going to be all about learning. All these drivers have to figure out, long run pace, how try not to burn up the right front, which unfortunately it's going to do because it's just Kentucky. But if they can do that, then they definitely got a chance of possibly even getting the win tonight.
Yes. Qualifying is starting at this moment as we see number 9 out there making his first laps and seeing what he can put on the times. Also, just wanted to bring up a couple of our sponsors: Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, Unit Moving Portable Storage, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Harpoon Designs, and Elite Performance. We've got some details for them later on in the stream. But man, Brandon, I am excited. I watched a little bit of that truck series on Tuesday, and there was a ton of action, a lot of battling up front. Nick Silver right now is on the pole. His practice times are reflecting what his qualifying times. Let's see if he can keep on that pole. Brandon, who do you think is going to be up there today as we see these drivers finish in qualifying?
I mean, looking at who we got tonight, Nick Silver is definitely up there. We got Chris Rabel is actually subbing for the Fast and Furious of Brandon Six. He's gonna be Chris Rabel will be in the 66 tonight, so that'll be interesting to see what he can do. But I think he might have a good run in tonight. The regulars, Nick Lights. Drew Jua is coming back. He's kind of had a little bit of a hiatus, so he's been gone for a little bit. He's back tonight. I see the regular guys up there. The one person I don't see is Frankie. Frankie is also not here tonight. Looks like Trevor Zielinski is going to be in the 12. So it'll be interesting to see if what he can do in the 12 tonight.
Yeah, he is out tonight, but he's already locked up a position to get into the playoffs. As well as Brandon Six, he is in the playoffs. Mark Whitley, Mr. Silver, and Jua, they are all there. But we got some guys on the bubble trying to get in to that lock position. Fetter Place, Mealy, Fleming, Smith, and Diamond, they're right there. And then you got guys like Biddy Larson, Lights, and Wright. They're all going to be out here trying to battle to get into that position. 1 point, I believe, for stage 1 wins, and then 5 points for a win tonight. Those are big points that need to happen for some of these guys to get in the position in the playoffs for the money. Brandon, we've got still, who do we got? We got Devin Ray now qualifying on the pole. He drops Nick Silver to P2. Jeff Tetro, he's in P3. Graham, he's in P4, and Josh Larson's P5. They're real close tonight. Not a whole lot of movement. Look at the numbers there, Brandon. Tenths of seconds from fifth to first.
Yeah, I mean the first and Devin Ray and Nick Silver are basically tied, basically down to the 10,000ths of a second, I believe that's what that is. So, it's really really close. I mean that's maybe the width of maybe a finger. It's probably really really close to how close they are, but not surprised though. I mean, these guys, like I said, as far as the hot lap speed, I think it's pretty easy to probably get a good hot lap speed, but the long run is going to be crucial because the way how this track runs, I mean, you will burn up the right front. So these guys are going to have to definitely take their time, mind their P's and Q's, and focus on making sure that right front doesn't get burned up, because coming out of 2, it gets too hot. You're going to slam that wall, and you're either going to break a toe or you're going to be considerably off the pace.
Yeah, Devin Ray was looking good in practice. He was leading the way in practice as well, as he's on the pole still. We still got a lot of guys, a lot of drivers out here that are going to try to qualify and get him off of that position. Like you were saying, inside lane and saving those tires are going to be key. I wonder as the race goes on if these guys are going to take an outside position and maybe run that outside lane. Not sure if it's here in these cup cars. You were saying earlier as well. They did an update. These drivers are changing a little bit. These cars are acting and behaving a little different as well. Stage 2 at 70 laps is going to be key. It always is. We've seen that throughout the season. It seems like stage 2 is really where all the movement happens. They're coming in the pit, they're changing their tires, and strategy comes into play, Brandon. I'm really excited for that part for this race and see how it unfolds.
Yeah, stage 2 is I mean, you pretty much said it. Stage 2 is where all the action happens, because you have green flag pit stops. You have the possibility of a lot of people trying to save and try to save fuel and try to save tires. There's so much moving going on in stage 2, but it can also happen in stage 1. It doesn't usually happen. I think stage 1 is everybody is just trying to get ready and prepared for what's the possibility of stage 2 and stage 3. So don't forget about stage 1. We could definitely see some action in stage 1 tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a shootout. Stage 1 is always the shootout, and these guys are going to be driving that car as hard as they were going to do it throughout the whole race on stage 1. It's only 20 laps, or sorry, excuse me. Tonight's 30 laps. Mark Whitley now P1. Devin Ray is going to drop to P2. Mark's one of those strong drivers. I've called him early on in the season the dog. He's got the dog in him. Good to see him at that P1 position. But these other drivers that we've got in here, Tetro's up there. John Wright, Josh Larson, man, these guys can all battle on a short track like this. So Mark now has the pole. We only have a few drivers left, so that may stay. But, man, we got Mitch Diamond back there, I believe. Nick Lights still needs to qualify. Strong drivers that may knock him off of that position.
Yeah, I mean, so far these guys are doing, like I said, they're a lot closer than I thought. With the two fastest guys running twos, kind of expected from Mark Whitley. Chris Rabel, who has not ran in the Cup Series for this league yet, puts it on P2. Really, really good run for him. Devin Ray, as we talked about earlier, in the threes. So, I mean, they're not that far off. I would probably say the top 10 is really, really close in time-wise. The difference of less than 2/10. So these guys are probably going to be really, really close, and probably battling and side drafting and pushing people around to try and get to the front before those tires get too hot. So it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yep, absolutely. This is Elite Performance 200 in Kentucky. Before we get into the race, I just want to talk about that a little bit more. Elite Performance, they've got a 13-week pass, iRacing eNASCAR Cup Series setups built by eNASCAR Coca-Cola Series champion Michael Conti. Go check him out. He has a Twitch channel as well. It's 13 weeks of setups for the price of 11 beginning at week of March 13th. Automatically become an EPI development driver, 1,000 iRating gain goal in one season. They get free adjustments, elite customer service, access to Sunday team test sessions. That's huge. Access to private Discord channel containing 24/7 support from EPI drivers and builders, and also access to EPI iRating progress tracker passes available for eNASCAR A, B, and C classes. Thank you for sponsoring today, Elite Performance 200 Performance. We appreciate you being here. Everybody at home too, Wheels America Racing Network. We're back live on a Thursday. This is going to be a lot of fun. Brandon's back in the booth. I'm healthy. I'm 100% finally. So I'm excited for this. Mark Whitley still on the pole. Chris and Nick in that 2 and 3 position. Brandon, we're about to go racing here shortly. And, man, Kentucky's going to provide. I saw trucks, so much action. Even I will say someone hit the choose car or the choose truck. We did see that again. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight, but it might.
Yeah, we did see it again. It's an unfortunate situation. I don't really I don't know what to say. I don't know how you hit a bright orange and yellow car that's sitting in the middle of the track. I can tell you that I would hate for that driver to be my taxi driver, because I'm getting out.
Yeah, someone's got to get out because, man, I was talking to AJ last week and how unique this league is, and I think that's a cool part that we do. We have that choose car, we have that choose truck, and these guys got to navigate if they're gonna go low or high. But hey, let's not have that happen again tonight. I don't think it will. I think we're gonna be okay. We're about to we're about to get underway here as they're gonna grid up. Man, Brandon, Kentucky. We didn't race this track last year. This is all new to these drivers this year, and we're at this point in the time where it means a lot. Everything's on the line. We're getting later in the season. All these drivers are trying to get playoff points. So as we are looking at the grid now, we've got Mr. Mark Whitley there in the pole spot. Congratulations to him. We got Chris Rabel in the 66. He's in P2. In row 2, we've got Nick Lights in the number 4. He's starting 3rd. Devin Ray in the 4th position. The 22, Nick Silver in 5th position in that number 9 car, followed by Ryan Dunkelberger. He's in 6th. Jeff Tetro, 7th in the 87. John Wright in the 8th in the 04. Jamie Graham, he's in the 90. He's in starting 9th. And then we've got Josh Larson in the number 51. He is in 10th position. That wraps up your top 10. Brandon, you got the next ones?
Yes, sir. We got, let's see. Landry Monty, the number 28, is in P11. Number 34 of Brennan Feder Place, P12. I actually talked to him earlier. He's really, really excited for this race. This is actually his home track. So we definitely somebody we have to look out for. He's going to be trying to go for his first win of the season. I think he might be able to get it done. So we got him. So we got the 88 of Matt Fleming. In P13, number 27 of Justin Sorrell. In P14, number 2 of Brandon Shelton. In P15, number 12 Trevor Zielinski. P16, 39 of Joseph Milley. P17, 55 of Thomas Meeks. In P18, number 6 of Joe David. P19, and number 54 of Matt Smith is rounding out your top 20.
That's your top 20. Something that you might see at home on YouTube. We've got some more changes going on to the stream. So a lot of these guys, some of these guys, you can see where their hometown is from. You can also see a live photo of what they look like as Trevor Zielinski is right there. So we're making changes, and we will continue to make changes throughout this season and try to make a better viewership for you guys at home. It's cool to see that with this league. As we are on the track, pace car is rolling. Mark Whitley and Chris Rabel in the 1-2 spot are going to lead this field through lap 1. Man, Kentucky, small, short track, a lot of banging, a lot of bruising is going to happen. I know that for a fact, as we saw that last weekend. But Brandon, do you think right now, with Mark and Chris out front, this is just going to be a shootout?
Yeah, I mean, with it only being 30 laps on the first stage, I mean, it's going to be get out front and try to stay out front, but don't burn up your tires. So these guys have got a lot of planning to do, but not a lot of time to figure it out. So the pace car is off. We are about to go green.
About to go green in Kentucky. Pace car is off. Mark Whitley is going to take the lead here. Send us off to lap 1. As the green flag is out, and they are underway here in Kentucky. Mark Whitley with the jump out front here, side by side as they go turn 1. Not as great jump as I've seen him in the past. Interesting to see that, but he is out front with Chris and Nick Lights right behind. Brandon, a little bit of 3-wide already action. That's going to be interesting. You don't want to see that a whole lot here on this track, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, this track is wide enough where you could probably go 4 or 5 wide. I've seen some crazy racing and pickup races within the iRacing service. But for the most part, it's pretty tame. Like I said, these guys kind of figure out what the tire is, what it's doing. What they need to do to be there at the end. So so far I see a lot of give and take as they're going 3 wide. There, the 12 is getting tight. Does not hit the 04, and I'm pretty sure there's some words being said about that move right there.
Could be some words early on as they're trying to move through the field as we are 1, 2, 3, and 4 single file out front, side by side, middle of the pack. As you were talking, a little bit of 3 wide. That could be a problem. You want to be on the inside. That seems where everyone wants to be driving to save those tires. When you're on the outside, you could burn them up pretty quick, as we are looking at 3 wide right now.
Yeah, and the 26, you saw him coming off of pit road. He had to serve a penalty from a couple of races ago, I believe. So he's having to blend back in pretty good. Only 1 lap down right now, trying to give away to some of the drivers until he can really get up to speed. And he's probably going to just ride for now, hoping either for a caution or hoping he stays the first car lap down.
Absolutely. This first stage is going to end at 30 laps. We're 4 down. As you're looking at the 22 and the 34 going to get past in Brandon Fetter place. Looking like he's going to make the pass. Devin Ray right there, though. A lot of single file early on here. They're trying to figure out the track. We're only 5 laps in. Like we were talking, this is a shootout on stage 1. Every stage counts. They're trying to get their points. 1 point to the stage winner. Later in the season here, as we're looking at it, they're trying to get into the playoffs. All these points count. A win is big for some of these drivers on the bubble. Now 34, Brandon Fetter plays out front, making his way. Jeff Titro's in front of him. He's going to chase him down. Brandon.
These guys are racing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I mean, I'm just kind of amazed right now. These guys are 3 wide. And I was just about to say how calm these guys are, but the 12 is in 3 wide again. He's been in 3 wide several times already, but looks like he successfully is going to clear the 22, maybe not. Hard to tell from this angle. Looks like he does, and he's going to continue to move on. So 12 has somewhere to go.
He is off to the races, as they would say. Mark Whitley is still in front. Nobody can really catch him, but they are tight up front. Mark, Nick, and Chris Rabel, they are neck and neck, less than a second off of that leader. But man, I'll tell you what, Mark's going to be a guy out here, if he can keep it together and save those tires and drive smooth. He's going to be one guy, one driver, hard to beat. When he gets out front, it is hard to chase him down. But Nick Lights, I know he's going to do everything he can in his power to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what you got to do. I mean, those 2, Mark Whitley and Lights, I mean, they are they are basically conjoined at the hip. They are always around each other. They're always, seems like they're always 1-2. Unless the 66 is in the race, then it's usually somehow they're 1, 2, 3. It's just always how it seems to work. And the 66 is 3rd, even with the sub. So I find that kind of funny, but yeah, it looks like Lights is got a target on the 7. He's probably gonna try and get past him within the next couple laps here.
Yep, 7 in that well-known green and black car, designed and painted by Harpoon Designs. Hard to miss him. Quick movers out here. We got Brandon Fetter Place, talked about him earlier. He started grid 12th and now in 7th position. This middle of the pack right now is going through pretty quick. So we got Landry Monty. He started 11th and 8th. Matt Fleming, he started 13th and now is in 9th position. A couple guys to look out for as he moves through the field.
And that's good movers for them. They just need to, like I said before, mind your P's and Q's and make sure, you make the passes cleanly and continue to move on. And kind of set yourself up for, the next stage. If you can't make it all the way up to the top 10 and you are going to, maybe miss out on stage 1 points, that's perfectly fine. You still got stage 2 and you still got the end of the race. So live to be there at the end is definitely going to be the goal for this race.
Yeah, live to be there at the end. We have a lot of drivers on the first stage. They're going after it. You see the names up front, and they're trying to get that stage 1 win. But like you were saying, to live at the end, some of these drivers in stage 2, you don't really talk about them, and then by the finish, they're in that top 10. So they're being patient. They're letting the track come to them, or letting the car come to them as they figure it out. And I think that's something we're going to see tonight in Kentucky. One guy that's dropping quite a bit is John Wright. He started grid 8th and now in 19th spot. Not sure what's happening with him tonight, but also Devin Ray. He qualified 4th and now is in 15th position. It's going to be hard for them to come back. Stage 1's going to end here shortly. We've got 12 laps in. It's ending at that 30 lap mark. So it's going to be fun to watch them try to figure it out. Some guys got it, some guys do not tonight, but I think that may change, Brandon.
And I'm not sure about the. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Brandon. I was hearing some from the guys in the back. Someone lost connection, or?
It looked like possibly, and it looked like it was Matthew Fleming. Looks like might be having some issues, which would be an unfortunate situation, because as he's sitting. What do we have here? He's sitting 8th in points right now, as far as playoffs wise, and you can't afford to lose those points. Those points are everything at this point of the season. So, unfortunate situation. Hopefully he can get back in and try to gather as many points as he can. But that's going to be a tough hill to climb if he's going to try and get back and have a possibility of at least finishing top 10.
Yeah, those type of things do happen, as we're looking at 27 making a pass, the 51 on the inside, and as 2 and 39 battle it out.
Yeah, some good battles so far. I mean, like I said, everybody's kind of minding their P's and Q's. I'm wondering, because I do know that the fuel ballpark is about 25 to 30 laps, give or take, maybe a little bit further than that. I'm wondering if some of these guys are kind of falling back and just saying, you know what, let me save a little fuel so I can have some at the end, which is a possibility. Some of these guys, maybe they're a little bit more lead foot, so they stay on the throttle a lot more and end up using up more fuel and burning up the tires. As I just actually saw that the 66 is now moved up to P2. Looks like the 66 is gonna try to go after Mark Whitley there. And he kissed the wall a little bit, got a little Kentucky stripe there, but it looks like he's gonna try and go for the stage win. So still got a long way to go. Still got 13, 14 laps to go till we end here. So we'll have to see how this goes, as Nick Silver is now P3 as well. So those boys are starting to make their move.
They're making the move quick, as Chris Rabel, he is in the number 66. He is the sub. He is one of the subs, and Trevor Zelansky in the 12. They are both the subs for tonight, as he's looking good. Chris is making some progress on Mark. He better watch out, as Nick Silver too, one of the guys that we see there up front. He is right behind Chris, and they're only about less than a second off the leader.
Yeah, and it's funny, I talked to Chris earlier, and he was a little skeptical on what he could do in this car. I mean, he's run this car many times, but this track really doesn't favor him, so he was a little cautious going into the race and just trying to figure out what he can do. But I think he's starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, as the race goes on, everyone will get a hang of this track in Kentucky. My question for you, Brandon, a lot of drivers running that inside lane. Do you think the outside lane may come into a factor? Is this one of those tracks where you can change your gears and go on the outside and maybe be a little bit faster than what the other guys are running?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys an animation. Do you know the Bugs Bunny GIF where he says no? That's the answer. No.
That is a hard no.
Oh, the record in the background. Oh, great save.
Unbelievable there. Wow.
Great save. Absolutely. I don't know what happened. We'll have to go back and see exactly what happened there. But hey, look, they're still going straight, and that's a good thing. So nobody's might be some hurt feelings there, but was off the pace.
Yeah, touched the wall, a little bit of checkup, and no caution, though. They all saved it. That's good to see early on in this race. No caution yet in stage 1.
Yeah, that could have been big. As you can see, like the 2 is just doing everything possible to stay off, and I mean that's heads up, for those guys to try and. Ooh, is that 65 in the wall as well? I think I just saw him kiss the wall up top. But like I said, the good heads up. It's you see it happening, and you're trying to make an evasive move, but. All good. Maybe a little bit of hurt feelings, a little bit. It looked like they were all teammates in that situation. But hey, it's racing, and you gotta push on.
as they continue. You don't want to see that. A lot of teammates there. Could have been some bad news, as they could have been all caught up in a bad wreck. Brandon Fetterplace now in 5th position, started 12th. Trevor Delancey in here to number 12. He started 16 and then just passed Graham. He's in 7th. So he's making his way through the pack. Monty, Scarell, and Larson, all guys that are trying to make their way through this. What lap we in? We had 22. This stage ends at 30.
Yeah, and it also, it's interesting. It actually looks like Lights actually did everything possible to kind of catch the leader of Mark Whitley. It looks like he just burnt it up, because he's now all the way back to 4th. About almost 3 seconds off the pace. So as he gets passed here by Brandon Fetterplace. So I think if you have a short run, I think he's going to be the guy. I think he can win it if there's a short run. But unfortunately, it looks like if he doesn't have the long run pace right now.
Yeah, and that's one testament to Whitley up front. You see him leading the pack a lot of the times, and he can still save the tires. So the entry in the corners, how he's doing throttle control, it's huge, and that's why you see him out front. Majority of these races, a lot of the times he's winning as well. So he's going to be the one to beat tonight right now. But Brandon, I still think some of these guys, some of these drivers are going to contend, and they're going to be real close, as we're going to end stage 1 here pretty shortly.
Yeah, in about another 5 laps. It'll be interesting to see if Mark Whitley can hold off Chris Rabel. Chris Rabel did catch him, but again, it's even harder to pass once you get to this point. You get that close, the air coming off of the lead car hitting your car, it just makes you tight. So, and the fact that unfortunately there's no middle to high line really to use. It makes it that much more difficult to try and make a pass. So, unfortunately, if he can get up there, I would say he had to be really, really aggressive to try and make that move. But laps are winding down. We're at just about 5 laps to go. So, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it now.
Absolutely. And welcome everybody again here, Wheels America Racing Network. Thank you for being here and joining us. Elite Performance 200 in Kentucky. We have a race under our way right now. Mark Whitley out front, Chris in the 2nd position. Also Nick Silver in that 3rd spot. Short track racing tonight. 30 laps is going to be the end of stage 1. And like I said, Brandon, everyone is trying to battle to get the points, because these playoffs come into picture right now. Later in the season, as it winds down, every single lap matters. Every single point counts. And they're out here, and I know they're trying to get into playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to give a shout out really quickly to, we talked about John Wright earlier. I don't remember what position you said he was, but he's literally sitting P12 right now. So whatever he was doing, more than likely, so I'm hearing he fell back to 17. So more than likely what he was doing, he saved his tires, and now he's making a run back to the front, try to finish in the top 10. So, shout out for that strategy. That's a great strategy to do. Let those guys go ahead up there and burn up their tires. Then go ahead and pick them up one by one, and hopefully get some stage points.
Yeah, Matt Smith as well. He's in 13th. He started 20th. Robert Hassan, he's in 14th, started 21st. So you're starting to see these guys back in the pack of the field work their way up, and maybe patience is the key to this race tonight, as stage 1 is about to end here shortly. We're 20 laps in, but you're right, Brandon. We're seeing a lot of these guys that started back in the pack, saving their tires and working their way up. No one's really catching Mark Whitley right now, but Chris is not too far behind. He's almost a 2nd now. Brandon Fetterplace, he's in 4th. He started 12th.
Yeah, as I was saying before, I think Rabel, did try and get there, and probably maybe pushed it maybe just a little too hard. And the fact that Mark Whitley is leading kind of gives him all the fresh air in the world. So, I mean, it's gives him the golden ticket to go out there and get it done. But, shout out to the top 5 as the stage 1 has now ended. And the top 10, try to see if, John Wright did not make the top 10. I thought he was going to get there. He ends up finishing, way in the back. I'm not sure what happened there. I have to go back and look at that.
He dropped off quite a bit. Congratulations to Mark Whitley, though, stage 1 winner, 30 laps in here at Kentucky. AJ, are we going to get a word with Mark if we could, I believe? Are we going to... Yeah, he's going to take a pit, and we're going to try to get in with Mark Whitley and say a word with him. But congratulations, stage 1 winner. He is already locked in the playoffs, so he is set later in this season. Man, what do you think the adjustments are going to be here, Brandon, on these pit stops? Is anybody going to change anything? I mean, is fuel going to be coming to a question at stage 2?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. If I am struggling to pass people, I'm going to do a Hail Mary. I'm going to try 2 tires.
2 tires?
And I'm going to try 2 tires because it's hard to pass. So if I can get out front and I can walk away from the field on 2 tires and kind of just coast, hey, I can give me a stage win too. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys do. I don't know if they're going to do it. Like I said, that's a Hail Mary in my opinion, to try and get out front of these guys. Because like I said, it's hard to pass and everybody's running the bottom. So the anything where you're going to follow the leader, you're going to continue to follow the leader. Or you have to push your tires, you have to push your car harder to get in front of them and end up burning up your tires, and then you got to try to hold them off. So it's just a matter of what your strategy is. But like I said, if it's me, I'm taking a 2. I'm going to the front. I want to lead some laps.
Yeah, for me, I would probably do 4. That's me. But Brandon, I know you have a lot of experience here at Kentucky. I know you have a lot of experience in the car. But I think we did have some guys take 2 tires. Majority of them 4, but I want to say a few in the back there only took 2 tires. So maybe they're doing your strategy, and they're gonna take the risk here in stage 2.
Well, all right. Well, we'll talk about that in a little few. Let's see if we can get Mark Whitley in here. Mark Whitley is Brandon Bowie in the booth. You got a copy, sir.
Gotcha.
Hey, man. Congratulations on your another stage win there. Tell us how the race is going for you so far.
Well, been a little busy this afternoon putting together a new sim rig, so literally the only laps of practice I got are the 2 qualifying laps, and I have no idea how on hell we put it on the pole, and just honestly trying to be as smooth as possible as opening laps. Clean air is a beautiful thing, so hopefully we can just keep it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've noticed that, like you just said with the clean air, I saw, a couple guys try to kind of make moves at you. The 4 of lights, he dropped pretty far back after it looked like he ran through the field and was actually there with you for a while. And I know the 66 and the 9. What do you have to do to kind of hold on to this league? I mean, do you, because this run's going to be a little bit longer, so do you, try to take it easy for the first couple laps and then go, or are you just going from the jump for the restart?
Just trying to probably run 80%, because hopefully that'll be enough to hold them off. Hopefully I don't have to push it. I'd rather stay in the lead, but I don't want to push it too hard and kill the tires trying to hold them off. So if they're being aggressive enough, might just let them go. Still just trying to figure out what this thing wants to do, because I haven't driven this since the update. So this is a whole brand new experience for me tonight, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay. Emery, did you have anything to say before we let him go?
Well, I just want to say congratulations on your stage 1 win, Mark. You got Chris behind you, subbing in for Brandon 6. He is on your tail, so good luck to you in stage 2. That's going to end at 70 laps. And again, congratulations on that stage 1 win.
Thank you.
All right, so Brandon, 33 laps in as they're choosing right now with the choose car. This stage 2 does end at 70 laps, and we've got a lot of action ahead of us. Stage 1 was actually clean. No cautions. We went green flag, 30 laps. Everyone at home, that is awesome. Brandon, I didn't think this. I saw that coming. In the truck series on Tuesday, there was a lot more banging, a lot more damage going on, and these guys are really calm tonight. It's surprising, and it's fun to watch, though.
I think Mark Whitley hit it on the head, hit the nail on the head. I mean, everybody's, like I said before, is still trying to figure out what this car is doing, what this car wants, what the tires want. They got a whole new build that came in 72 hours ago, and some people have been able to put down practice laps. As Mark Whitley said, he was only able to, the first 2 laps he got was basically doing qualifying, so he's just going off of what he remembers from before. Obviously, it's working. because he's still leading. But as the runs get longer, it's gonna probably be more important for him to save his tires at the beginning. So we'll have to see how this goes. I know Chris is gonna probably want to go out there and try to lead some laps. But so is Mark Whitley. And the 12, he's made it all the way up to now. He is on the outside behind Mark Whitley, and he started way in the back. So this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see who wants it more to get to the lead.
Yeah, it is. If Mark Whitley is going to try to stay out front like he was, like you were saying, Chris may want to try to lead some laps, but does he be patient? Does he stay behind Mark and save his tires? We shall see here when they go green flag. Trevor and Brendan Fetter place right there in the 3 and 4 position. What are they going to do? Are they going to hang back? Are they going to save a little bit? Because stage 2 changes up the whole game here in Kentucky. You don't want to burn your tires up as we are green flag again. Mark Whitley is going to take us away into turn 1. As he's out front.
Yeah, Mark Whitley got a pretty good restart there, so kind of didn't allow the 66 to get it run, but it did allow the 12 to possibly clear the 66. But they're trying to look like the 3 wide back there as well, so a little early for that, but hey, trying to get every position possible.
Absolutely, every position counts. As you're seeing the number 8 car on the inside, that's Robert Hassan. 3 wide in the back here a little bit, side by side. Good races so far, Brandon. Love to see it tonight. Like you were saying, new car, new setup. Everyone's trying to figure this out. They are being very patient, not pushing the car too much, not overdriving.
Yeah, I think that's going to have to be the key for the race. Next week it'll probably be a lot more aggressive because it'll be a little bit more familiar. These guys have had time on it once they get there. But for right now, it's just like I said, take your time and mind your P's and Q's. 22 does the crossover on the 34, and the 34 is going to try and take it back here, coming out of 2, and does it. Good job.
He does it. Yeah, Brandon Fetterplay still in that 5 position. Devin Ray right behind in that number 22, trying to get by him, just can't. It's interesting to see these guys try to make the pass on the inside and then maybe work their way on the outside. So there are options on this track early on. As you see him now trying to go on the outside. 22.
Yeah, look at 22 got in front of the 34. But you know what though? Again, how hard do you want to push it? We talked about it earlier in stage 1. Fuel is going to be key here. You're going to have to either save enough or you're going to have to pit. So, you got to kind of pick your decision now. You can't wait until the middle of the run or toward the end of the run and say, hey, I think I'm going to start saving. You got to kind of make this decision, from the beginning. So, does the 34 push it, too hard to try and get back by the 22? Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, you're going to have to watch your fuel and make sure that you can make it to the next stage. Because if you can't, it's going to be devastating to have to start all the way in the back and have to try and do this all over again.
Yeah, you don't want to see yourself in the back to try to make your way through the field as he's still trying to get past cars on the inside. He's making some passes, looking pretty strong. Fuel will come into play. One thing, Brandon, a lot of these drivers are not familiar with this track. We didn't race it last year. But one thing that can change the game is the pit entrance. If you're not familiar, you haven't practiced, that could be big problems. If you're speeding, you overshoot your pit. Those are factors right now that can change the game, and that could be something that we see.
Yeah, I hope some of these guys practice pits, as far as green flag pit stops, because that could be the end of your race. It's very, very easy. I mean, thankfully, getting on pit road is not that difficult here. It's pretty wide open as far as enough room to slow down and everything. But, with hot tires and the way how these guys have their master cylinders and their brake bias set up, if they don't have it set up right before entering pit road, I mean, they can self-spin, they can lock it up and slide through the line and get caught speeding. So you're going to have to be perfect in order to enter pit road, and you're going to have to be able to capitalize on the people in front of you to try and leapfrog them as well.
Yeah, I've made the same problem. I made the same mistake. I think I'm fast on the track, and I may be fast on the track, but then all of a sudden I got a pit, and I said, you know what? I haven't practiced this all week. So, and then you're slow when you're trying to get in the pits. You lose a bunch of spots. Hopefully that doesn't happen to these guys tonight. But man, this is why we do what we do, and that's why guys are out here practicing Kentucky all week, trying to get ready for this race on Thursday. As we got a great race tonight. Mark Whitley still out front. Trevor in that 12 trying to chase him down. Chris, the sub for Brandon in that 66. He's in third, looking really good tonight, and Nick Silver in fourth. So. These guys, I gotta give them credit tonight. They're racing well. They're driving smooth, and they got confidence. So it's fun to watch. We are 43 laps into stage 2. 70 is going to be where we end this stage. Real quick, guys, everybody at home, Wheels American Racing Network on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, watching tonight. Got myself again, Jacob Emery, and Brandon Bowie in the booth. And shout out to our sponsors, Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, Units Moving Portable Storage, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Check them out. Harpoon Designs, he's got a lot of these paint schemes on a majority of these cars. And Elite Performance, they are our sponsor tonight for this race here on Thursday. Brandon, the action doesn't stop. 45 laps in, and look at this battle up front now. Mark Whitley and Trevor, they're going to battle out in the 12.
Yeah, and I had a feeling it was coming. I said, you know, the way how the 12 was kind of running through the field, I said he's going to probably try and give it his all. He wants that lead. He wants to go out there and you know, do it good for Frankie, as that's Frankie's car. Now, Frankie could be sitting back and kind of feeling like, please don't win in my car, because then I'm going to really feel bad that you won in my equipment. So I'm pretty sure Frankie, if he's watching, you know, he's like, hey, I'm glad he's doing good, but don't win in my car,
please. Don't win in my car. Maybe the words out of his mouth tonight, but you know he'd love to see Trevor in there subbing in that second position. Nick Silver making his move up there as well. He's in fourth. He's still about 2 seconds behind the leader. One guy I want to talk about, Robert Hassan. In the 8th car. He started grid 21st. He is now looking at 10. And a majority of these guys, you got Matt Smith, you got Kenny Reel. They all started way back in the field, and now they're looking at 10th, 11th, and 12th battling out. They're only 5 to 6 seconds behind the leader. Good testament to those guys being patient. They might have made some moves on that stage 1 pit, but man, great to see.
For sure, you know, it's, and I'm sorry, you know, every time I see that 8 car, I was about to say, hell, where did Kyle Busch come from? When did Kyle Busch become on the track? But that is Rabu's song, and the Lucas 8 car looks just like Kyle Busch's car. I think it still looks pretty good even on iRacing here. But shout out to him for, you know, for having a good run tonight, and you know, I think he gets it as well. You know, I got to be there at the end. You know, playoffs is coming up soon, so I got to start making some noise, and he's picked a great time to start doing it.
Yeah, Robert looked really good in practice in the number 8. He looked looking like he had some great times. I don't think he qualified as well as he thought he was going to be, or as I think he should have been. He qualified with a 31.6. So he just dropped back in the pack a little bit, and he says, you know what, I'm going to be here for a little bit, but I am going to get through the field and putting on a show now. He's in 10th. Love to see it, because Robert's out here every week battling and always in that top 10 position, top 15. So interesting to see how that plays out. Nothing's changed out front though, Brandon. They are battling, as you see that 21 in the 6 there. That's Chris Vanderplatz. A lot of people at home watching, love him. Good to see him. And that's Joe Divide in the 6. He's in 19th. He started 19th. Nothing's changed too much with him.
Yeah, and I kind of want to backtrack a little bit on something I said just a few minutes ago. There's 2 8s. There's 2 8s on the track. So I got a little confused on which one was Robert Hassan. Sorry. So Robert Hassan is driving the 8 Bud Light paint scheme, and Kenny Reel is driving the number 8 Lucas paint scheme. I'm not sure why there's 2 8s on the track, but it is what it is. But sorry about that. So sorry if I gave the credit to the wrong person. So Robert Hassan,
yeah.
Shout out to him being he's sitting P12 right now.
Well, Brandon, thank you for pointing that out. I don't think that I will remember that because I will probably make the same mistake. It's easy to do, man. As we're watching it live here, it's gonna be fun trying to not make that mistake. But Mark Whitley and Trevor in that 12 out front, and now look at Chris in the 66. He's making a move. He's trying to pass Trevor on the inside. He might actually get him.
And the 12 and the 66, again, like we said earlier, they're both subbing. 12 is tight. Oh, no. Ooh. Well, the 66 kind of came up a little bit. 12 kind of came down, you know. All good, though. We're still going to continue on and try to catch Mark Whitley. I mean, that's the goal right now. He is putting the clinic on the field right now.
He's been so strong all day long. If you don't think that these drivers that are typically in that 66 and that 12 are watching right now, I think you're wrong, because I know they got it pulled up on their phone, at their computer at home, whatever they may be doing. They're watching their subs go to battle, and I'm sure they'll be tuning in this race the whole time because they are putting on a show as Mark Whitley is putting on a clinic. But man, Chris and Trevor, give it up to them as we're on board with Trevor in that 12.
He's done a heck of a job. He came from the back, and now he's hitting P3. You know, so you know, he might have heated up his tires a little bit, so he's gonna have to allow his tires to cool down, and maybe he can try another go at the 66, and maybe even a go at Mark Whitley as well in the 7. So, you know, it's still a long run to go. Like I said, we have to get to lap 70. We're on lap 54 now, so still got plenty of time to try and go after and see if we can get the stage win. All right, so it looks like we're going to go to our side-by-side. So we're gonna say hey to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Moving or storing your contents does not have to be complicated and inconvenient. Do-it-yourself storage and moving with Unit's moving and portable storage can save you time, money, and frustration when compared to traditional full-service moving truck rental and fixed storage. There's no rushing and no hassle. Our process is designed to accommodate a nimble moving process that provides flexible scheduling. Stay away from renting trucks that charge by the hour. With Units, you load your weather-resistant, all-steel containers at your own pace, well in advance of your moving date. Our containers are leveled to the ground and do not require a ramp to load or unload. Unit's barn-style container doors can be easily propped to stay open while loading or unloading your container. With Units, 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month is the same price. When you're ready, give your local Units representative a call and we will pick up your container, bring it back to our secure climate-controlled storage centers, or move it to another location of your choice. Need temporary storage before you move? We can take care of that at one of our many storage centers, saving you trips back and forth to a self-storage facility. Each Unit service center is locally owned and operated by franchisees that know your area. There are no time constraints on the container. Feel free to pack and load at your own convenience or hire a professional for additional help. Control your own schedule. Receive personalized support. Units will simplify your moving experience.
And we are back in Kentucky. Stage 2 has been underway, 62 laps down. Mark Whitley's out front as we're watching somebody go into the pits. Maybe a little early, Brandon. I'm not sure the strategy. I could be wrong here. But, yeah, Whitley Mark is in the pits as they are all doing it. So I'm wrong, Brandon. This is green flag pit stops. Look at them go.
This is monkey see, monkey do. That's basically what this is. Now, the question is going to be whether you take 4 or you take 2. I think you have to take 2. As hard as it is to pass, take the 2. Now, if you took 2 during when I suggest to take 2 during the beginning of stage 2, then you might be kind of screwed. But if you didn't listen to me, now would be the time to take 2 tires.
Yeah, 2 tires may be the key for stage 2. We're pretty deep into this stage. It's going to end at lap 70, I believe it is, and we're only 64. We're 64 laps in, so not a whole lot. Very interesting to see this happen because we got a lot of guys out here staying out. As you're looking at number 12 right there, Trevor, he says, "I'm not pitting yet. I'm still rolling." His spotter says, "Not quite yet."
Yeah, I mean, again, strategies is what it's all about, and these guys usually have their strategies from the very beginning on what they're going to do. But I will say that staying out and maybe coming down right before pit road closes is probably the better plan to maybe try and do that, but you're going to lose a lot of time, though, either way, so...
Yeah, I mean, stage 2 or stages count, right, for points, but ultimately you want to try to win this race tonight, as we're still seeing Trevor out there rolling around, has not pitted yet. Maybe he says, "I'm trying for this stage 2 win and get that point on the board," as he's trying to get into playoffs. But interesting to see right now, he is the sub for Frankie.
Yeah, I just don't know. Ooh, it looks like he got a little loose there coming out of 2 there, but I will say I just don't know about that strategy pitting, as he is going straight to, what is going I don't know where he's going, but,
this is what I'm talking about, Brandon. He's still on the track, as now you're looking at
spinning on the bottom. Looks like it was on entry. Looks like he was trying to get down pit road. I saw an orange and white car. That's all I saw.
Oh man, that's what we talked about earlier as well, is these guys on pit entry. You got to practice it. If you don't practice it, this might be something that happens. If you go back a little bit farther, he might have hit the wall. I'm not sure. Maybe just got loose trying to get into the pits.
Yeah.
Trevor, the number 12, says, "I'm still racing," as these guys are passing him. Now he comes into the pits.
He's coming down there. Oh, there's a car there. Don't hit him.
You don't know if he's came in too hot or not, but he made it there. And he's going to get into his box. Man, Trevor is risking it all tonight in Kentucky. He says, "Man, I'm driving 5 extra laps, and now I'm going to pit, change those tires." I'd imagine he's going to get all 4, as he's smoked all of them so far.
And I think he just slid through his pit stall a little bit too. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of comes out. Lights is now sitting P1. Could Lights actually end up being the leader? Maybe he played the strategy better this time.
This is what we were talking about, Brandon. Stage 2. This is where the drama happens. This is where the changes may come, and they are happening tonight, as Nick in the number 4 is out front. Joseph Bealey in the 39 now is P2. Michael Lanphier in 13. He's in 3rd.
And looks like the 12. Oh, look at this battle here. Good, my goodness. Just trying to find somewhere to go. Like it's just cars everywhere in this little mini pack right here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be trying to battle for that stage 2 win as we got a caution. This is our second caution tonight.
Yep.
I believe it's our first.
Well,
And that's the end of the stage. You're right. End of the stage, lap 70. That's going to end it. Nick Lights with a point on the board there, winning stage 2.
Yeah, that was a good strategy by him. Definitely take your time, save your tires, save your fuel, and have a chance. Now he just has to make sure he can get back around, so that way he doesn't get a black flag. But not a bad strategy. Not a bad strategy at all.
Not at all. As Nick Lights, he was 16 points down on the playoff standing. He's going to gain back a little bit there. And then you got Joseph Mealy in the 39, Michael Lanfear. They're all on that outer bank trying to get into the playoffs. Brandon Six, Frankie, Mark Whitley, Silver, and Jua, they all have got it locked in so far early on in the season, and they're in the playoffs. And as these other guys are trying to make their way in.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, after this race, who moves up, who moves down, with Biddy, Larson, Lights, and Wright. I mean, they are so tight. I mean, they're within 8 points of each other. So a lot of moving to make it in, and a lot of moving to make it out.
Yeah, as they're gonna go in and take a pit here. And we're going to try to get Nick Lights in here and have a word with him as he is our stage 2 winner. Brandon, real quick though, we haven't done this yet. We haven't picked our driver. I've got a driver in mind that I want to shout out and want to pick up tonight.
Well, hold on. Let's not do that yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx anybody yet.
Okay, you're right. We won't do it yet.
Every time I pick Matt Fleming, I jinx him, so I'm gonna wait until after the restart, and then me, you, and AJ make a picks.
Fair enough. You can guess what? Somebody is out of fuel. I believe it's the number 20.
No.
Is that the number 20?
That is the number 20.
The number 20.
Oh man.
Andrew, is out of fuel. He started 29th and was rolling. He was 15th position. And now is going to have to get towed back. That is unfortunate.
He's still rolling.
Can he make it?
Somebody goes down there and give him maybe a little bit of a push, he might be able to do something. But,
well, as he's rolling into the pits, Brandon, we got our stage 2 winner, Mr. Nick in the number 4. Nick, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Struggling there to save a little fuel. I actually ran out catching the pace car, but managed to coast all the way to pit road and get it fueled up.
Right on. We're seeing other drivers have the same issues. Just want to say congratulations to that stage 2 win. Got some points on the board trying to make that playoff position. Brandon, you got something for Nick real quick?
Yeah, again, congratulations on your stage 2 win, man. I've seen, I've seen you kind of in stage 1, you kind of tried to go for marks there, and looks like you might have got a little tight and started to fall off. Stage 2 was a little bit different. Seemed like he fell back and had a different goal in mind, which was to save fuel, which was obviously the right thing to do. How hard is it to pass out there? I mean, I'm seeing some guys kind of go for about 5 laps, and then they're kind of just like, I can't do it, I'm just going to chill out. So how hard is it out there to pass right now?
Yeah, it's extremely tough. Even trying to catch Mark there that first stage, it was tough to make a run and be able to pass him, so I just kind of fell in line, but used my stuff up in stage 1, got the damage fixed because I hit the wall, topped off in stage 2, and managed to save enough for that stage win. So yeah, it's incredibly tough to pass, but we'll try to manage to stay up front and keep it up front.
Alrighty. Well, again, folks, that's going to be your stage 2 winner, and hopefully we'll see how you do the rest of the race. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
And he's there, stage 2 winner. Congratulations to Nick again. He's going to have to battle off Mark Whitley. He's been leading the whole race. He is now in 8th position, going to try to make his way through the pack to get up front. Nick Light's in the first position. Joseph Mealy in the 39. He's starting second now to start stage 2. Josh Larson in the 51. He is third. Michael Lanfear, he's in the 13th. He is fourth position. And we got Brandon Shelton. He's in that number 2. He is now fifth. Stage 2 is going to be a long stage to the final. And, man, so far, a lot of good racing. All these drivers have been patient trying to figure out this car. And some of these guys have been really paying off for their patience. As you see, Michael Lanfear started 22nd, excuse me, and now he's in grid 6th. So fun to watch this, Brandon, tonight in Kentucky.
Yeah, and we got some new players up there. I mean, honestly, we have the whole, and I mean literally, it seems like the whole flagship motorsports sitting 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they've got something planned. They've got something to prove tonight. So, hey, they can go up there to try and now. Well, they've already got a stage win for tonight. So now they got to try and go for the win. But hey, you got to be easy to your teammates. You can't rough them up. You got to be there at the end. So it'll be interesting to see how these the top 4 does.
Yeah, top 4 flagship motorsports. They're all out front trying to hold this lead, but you're right. You don't want to battle each other. You don't want to burn each other's tires up. You don't want to cause no cautions and have any problems. But what are you going to do? They're all battling up front. As 75 laps to go, or excuse me, 75 laps in as the pace car's off, and we're going to start this next stage with Nick Lights in the number 4 leading the way. Let's see what happens as we've got a green flag right now in Kentucky.
Great restart by the 4.
Absolutely.
But you know what we haven't done tonight though. Besides choose our drivers, we haven't brung the noise.
Oh, you're right, man. This is one of the best parts of the race.
Absolutely. So let's see if we can bring the noise coming to the next lap.
Let's bring the noise. Caution's out. Caution is out. We tried to bring the noise, but unfortunately we brought a caution, as this is actually our first caution of the evening. Let's see what happened here. Looks like he's already sideways. I think he may have got pushed in the back. Yeah, Brandon, let's take a look. Did he get loose, or did the 22 get into?
Oh no!
Oh, yikes!
Wow. Ooh, that was a good hit too. Oh, he saved it though. What a save!
Yeah, Robert in the 14th getting turned. He started 30th, and he was now, before the caution, was in 18th position, trying to make his way through the field. But man, you hate to see that. Doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. I could be wrong, Brandon. Do you think he's got a lot of damage there on that car?
I mean, that with the new build, honestly, it's hard to tell, how much damage that could be. I can say that he hit mainly in the front, so there's going to be probably some radiator damage, some front. Well, that looked like some black smoke, so it's a possibility he might have blew that motor.
Yeah, he hit harder than I thought, Brandon. That was a bad hit.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the situation, then I mean he's already on pit road. He just towed it, so that could that's an unfortunate situation. But what you do is you take what you learned from tonight and you move on to the next race. These situations happen, kind of get caught up in other people's stuff, and nothing really that he did wrong. I think it was just mainly just two cars coming together and just got clipped as he was trying to move away a little bit from the wall. So it happens. It sucks as a driver from both sides. You don't want to turn somebody on the front stretch, but you also don't want to get turned. So sucks for both drivers. But like I said, only thing you could do is look ahead and look forward to the next race if you're involved.
Absolutely. Unfortunate circumstances, as one guy may have some penalties going on to the next race next week. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be out of the race tonight. That may be the last lap for him. I don't think he'll be back out here. I could be wrong. Let's have to check and see how much repairing he has to go. But couple new leaders out front: Nick Lights, Joseph Mealy, and Josh Larson. That's your 1, 2, and 3. This brings our first caution tonight. A lot of good racing here in Kentucky for a short track, but I'm not sure how the rest of this race will go. A lot of strategy comes into play when you got green flag racing, but then when you start getting some cautions, that could change as well, because you save your fuel, you save your tires. So a lot of your information that you're getting from your spotter or from your teammates could be thrown out the window, as we're seeing a few of these guys early on going into the pits. I'm not sure if they're going to change some tires or get some fuel.
Yeah, as you see these guys coming down pit road, I was gonna say it's interesting that nobody's coming down. I was gonna be very, very surprised, but looks like some guys are gonna come down. Either gonna get some damage fixed, or add some fuel. I mean, nobody's gonna really take tires. They're already limited on tires. Probably only have either 1 or 2 sets of tires left, and you don't want to burn them too soon. So these guys have to at least get to the halfway point before they probably take another set of tires, or at least, ooh, you guys are cutting it very close behind the pace car. I guess they want to see who wants to be the first person to hit the pace car for tonight. But other than that, I think coming down, taking fuel, I think that's the right call. Unfortunately, you're going to be in the back, but if it's already hard to pass, why not save some fuel and try to see if you can make it?
Yeah, so you were saying, it may be early on because we've got 125 laps tonight here, or today in Kentucky. So a lot of time left to run these tires out, and a lot of these guys only have a certain amount left after they pit. So that could come to a factor. I don't think fuel's really going to come into play, but that tire game and that saving game definitely will. Mark Whitley still in that 5th position. He was out front early on in stage 1. And now he's kind of sitting back a little bit, maybe saving, changing strategy a little bit, but we shall see, because nothing's changed too much with him.
Which is unfortunately not surprised. I mean, these guys are doing everything they possibly can to kind of pass these guys, these other drivers. But when we talked to Mark and we talked to Lights, it was the same thing. It's very, very difficult to pass here. I don't really understand why. I don't know if it's mainly just the car, or it's the track, or the combination of both. But I mean, even in real life, it's really, really hard to pass. So I mean, these guys, at this point, we're coming to the the last stage of the race. So now you gotta buckle those belts tight, and you gotta go for it. You gotta make every pass you can within a matter of 5 laps, and then after that, it's just hard to pass. So it's got to be super frustrating for these drivers to try and make this work. But hey, we're probably about to see some really, really crazy stuff. That was our first caution, so you know what they say: cautions breed cautions.
Absolutely, Brandon. As the pace car is off, and now with our new leader, the number 4, Nick Lights, is going to take us away when we go green here. Joseph Mealy, Josh Larson, Brandon Shelton, that 1, 2, 3, and 4 spot, and Mark Whitley in the 5th. Watch out for him trying to make his way up to the front, as Nick gets a great start to this restart. And 81 laps down, he's out front. Everyone else is side by side in the back. Like you were talking earlier, it's hard to pass on this track for some reason. Seems like guys can go 3 wide. It seems like this track has a lot of room, but there's only a small portion of where you can pass on the inside. A couple guys going on the outside trying to pass.
Yeah,
Contact a little bit, Brandon.
Looks like there might have been Mark Whitley tagging somebody, but it looked like Mark was trying to push the person in front. Okay, so it looked like he hit, I was being told it looked like he hit Brandon Shelton, but it looks like Mark was just trying to push the car in front of him to kind of get down the backstretch, and it looked like he maybe overdrove it just a tad and kind of tagged Brandon Shelton, but looks like it's all good though.
Here's a replay of it. Number 7 getting a little contact in the back, and then the outside. Good save by him.
Yeah,
that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, just a little door bang, Hello. Just
hello. Yeah, good morning. One guy, hello, is Mitch Diamond. He started 24th and now at the 6th position. Mitch Diamond at 65, making some moves.
It's a tight racing right there. Yeah, the 65 is also, as we're, looks like 3 wide with the 34, the 12, and the 04. It looks like they've kind of now settled down back to 2 wide. But yeah, the 65 is picking up spots, and like I said before, that's what you got to do at this point in the race. You know, you got to go. And are you going to burn up your tires? Probably, but you're probably also banking on maybe some more cautions. The more cautions, the more crazy strategy you can kind of pull off. So if it stays green, like I said before, it's going to be really, really hard to pass. But you know, at the same time, these guys know that, so they're going to be putting a lot more pressure on some of these guys to kind of get moving.
Yep, absolutely. And the pressure is on as drivers are trying to get into that playoff position. A lot of drivers on the playoff bubble as well. Fetter plays Mealy, Fleming, Smith, and Diamond. They're all on that little edge trying to get in.
Loose.
As we get guys getting loose later in this race, 85 laps in. They've got fresh tires, but they're not that fresh. They might be burning off, and they're trying to figure out how this car is going to respond.
Yeah, if we get a chance, we'll have to go back to the 41, the 6, the 66, the 50, the 54. They are all over the place back here in the back, and they are just trying to pick up as many spots as they can.
'86 laps in, Brandon, and they're trying to fan out a little bit. Single file. Like you were saying, it's very interesting to try to make your moves and get these passes on this Kentucky track. It's not easy. I think some guys are struggling trying to make that move. Here on the backstretch, as you see, it's so wide they can really push it 3. But once you get to this corner, you gotta make the move now.
Yeah, and again, I mean, by doing this, you're burning up your tires, and the more you burn up your tires, the harder it is to go forward. You know, while everybody else is trying to save their tires. So it's a game of chess. You know, one move this way, one move that way. But if you make a wrong move, you're taking 3 steps back. So it's absolutely, like I said, it's frustrating. But you know, these guys know that. These guys knew that from the beginning. And as long as the strategy planned out right for them, then they should be good. But unfortunately, 19th on back is a lap down. And some of those are some of the fast guys. Chris Rabel was up and running in the top 3 and got trapped a lap down. Matt Smith, Chris Vanderplatz, Matt Fleming. Well, he's multiple laps down. I'm sorry, but just to name some of those guys, Devin Rea, he qualified up front as well, and he's a lap down. So these guys need a caution, and they need it pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Devin Ray at the 22, he was in the 4th. He started 4th and now looking at 21st. So this is something we haven't seen a whole lot this season, is these long green flag racing as people are a lap down, going on 2 laps possibly. That's new for us. Maybe these drivers are trying to figure out how they're going to bounce back. Half of the field, not half, but a lot of the field are a lap down, and that's very interesting because Brandon, again, we haven't seen it a whole lot.
Yeah, we definitely don't see that too often. But so we're on lap 90, and we still have not made our pick. So my apologies for holding us off. The caution kind of threw us off there. But I want to bring in AJ. I want to start with AJ, and who is your pick to get it done, son?
All right, now that I consistently tried to click myself on mute, I'm actually going to take a guy that has been leading a good chunk of this race and needs to bounce back. I'm going to take the number 7 of Mark Whitley to get back to the lead. The only thing is, he got back to that 2nd position using pretty much brute strength and horsepower, so hopefully he has enough Goodyear Eagles underneath him to keep it.
Okay. And Emery, who you got, sir?
You know what? I'm going to go with one of the subs tonight. I like what he's doing out here tonight. He had decent practice, had a decent qualify, but he started 16th and now looking 4th. I'm going with Trevor in the number 12. That's who I'm rolling with tonight. I think he's going to get a win. He's in front of, well, now he's behind Mark Whitley Nick, but I've got my eye on Trevor, the sub for Frankie in that 12 car.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Hopefully I don't jinx him, but he was pretty fast last week. I'm gonna go with Josh Larson. Somehow, some way, he can get it done. So hopefully, I pray that I didn't jinx him. I always seem to jinx everybody else, but I don't think I've ever called him to win a race. So as he's now having connection issues, Jesus.
Brandon, we might have to just take you out of this because I think it's like 3 weeks in a row. I know you were out last week, but I know the week before that you picked, and then they had issues right away. So I'm kind of scared about this.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say the 51 car. That's it. We're done. Moving on.
Moving on. I'll say it for you. So Brandon picks Josh Larson at 51. He's sitting 5th. He's been really consistent tonight or today. He started 10th, now in that 5th position, and he's one guy you got to look out for. Nick Silver's right behind him. He started 5th and in 6th position, very consistent as well. 94 laps here in stage 2. This is going to end, we're going to go to, 125. So this is going to be a long one. We appreciate you guys all being here tonight. Looks like AJ put up a poll tonight. Who wins this race? Whitley, we got Selensky, Larson, and someone else. Interesting. Well, go ahead and vote on that. Wheels America Racing Network, thank you for being here every Thursday. We appreciate you tuning in to the Elite Performance 200 Wheels America Cup Series. A lot of action, a lot of fun tonight, a lot of green flag racing. As you're looking at it now, Nick Lights in the number 4 now still up front. Mark Whitley is in 3rd. He's pushing. He is still about half a second behind the leader, but he's gaining ground. And then my pick, Trevor, in that 12, trying to make his way as well. He's about a second behind the leader. See what happens as we're looking on board here. Tight movement, number 12 right behind Mark. Gonna look at maybe going on the inside now, as Mark's on the outside trying to get a pass as they're crossing that finish line. Brandon, a lot of fun tonight here in Kentucky. Didn't think this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I finally starting to see some movement as far as, it looks like Mark really had to get out of the throttle there. But starting to definitely see some movement, people moving up a little bit higher to try and see what you can do there. They are so close side by side, but still clean coming out of 4 there. But these guys are racing hard, and like I said, you got to get to the front, but you can't burn up your tires at the same time. So you gotta make the right chess moves in order to be out front. So Mark Whitley running on the high side, probably not the best for his tires right now, but he knows that if he lets the 12 get in front, he's gonna be in trouble. But guess what? My pick, Josh Larson. He's coming.
He's making his way through. About a second and a half behind Trevor in the 12, my pick. Let's see what they can do as Nick impressively holding off the rest of the field, still in that 1 position. Joseph Mealy now about a second. So Nick still out front, making a charge, man. He seems like he's getting a little bit faster as we're 99 laps in, and we're going to finish at that 125 mark. Very interesting to see. Mark Whitley has been very consistent on saving those tires, but he's not getting that clean air as he's now looking at 4th position. He's a 1.3 seconds behind the leader. Nick, better be careful though, Brandon. We talked about all the time, all out front, fresh air. But if you get too fast, you get too far up front, you could be burning up those tires quick.
Yeah, and Mark Whitley, it looked like he, like I said, might have burnt up the tires a little bit. He could be saving a little bit of fuel here. Not really sure what he has planned, but like I said, the guys behind him, they have caught this pack. So this is interesting. Mark Whitley's coming out. He's gonna be the first one.
He's coming down quick. Yep.
Oh no, sorry, I was gonna say I think Lights was coming down too. So they both coming down. Do they take 4 or do they take 2? That is going to be the question.
Yeah, I would imagine. If I were to guess, if I were a bet man, I think Mark will take 2. I think he may take 2. That's my prediction, but I could be wrong.
I say if you take 2, and hope that it stays green, I think you got a chance. But I think if you take 4, I just think you're gonna lose a lot of time on pit road. I mean, that's taking 2 tires is probably a 10-second pit stop. Taking 4 is about a 13 to 14-second pit stop. That gives you a 4-second gap over your person here behind you. So
Yep.
look like 34 there. Kind of kissed the wall a little bit coming out of 2, but Larson's on the move, man. He's sitting P2.
P2, my boy Trevor, though, in the 12, he stayed out quite a bit in that stage 2 in. So is he going to do this again, or do you think he'll be coming in a little bit earlier? Josh Larson's right behind him, and Brandon Fetterplace now in 3rd, as some guys are starting to go in, get some tires and some fuel, and get back out there and try to finish this race. Very interested to see Mark and the other driver go in early, as Trevor's still on the track. He's still out there running laps. He's not going to pit again, I don't believe, on this one.
Yeah, so I mean, so there's the thing is that by the 12 car staying out, you're actually allowing Lights and Whitley to make up time on you. So it's a catch-22. So you can be the 12, Zelensky, and you can do your best to stay out front and hope and pray that a caution comes out. But if a caution does not come out, you're kind of forced to stay out there. You stay out there as long as you can on fuel, come down, and you possibly take 2 tires and hope that you don't lose too much time, and you hope that the tires that you have will allow you to catch them. But every lap that you're out there, you're losing more and more time. I was going to try and see what kind of lap times Mark Whitley and Lights are hitting right now, but I'm pretty sure it's more than a second faster a lap compared to what Trevor Zelensky's doing right now.
Yeah, he's getting some information to continue to stay out there. And let's see if he does pit on this lap. It looks like he may. Nope. Looks like he's going to pit now. Yeah, he's going in, as Josh Larson, I believe, is staying out.
Yeah, so it's about a 1.5-second difference. So he lost, if I can do my math really quickly in my head. So that's probably about 5. I think he stayed out maybe 3 or 4 laps longer. So that's quite a bit of time. 1.5 seconds over that amount of time is 5 seconds, give or take. And that's if Lights and Whitley are maximizing their laps that they're putting out there. So if they are, then it's do you see that big cluster of cars right there? Oh my goodness.
Big cluster of cars coming through. Wow.
But yeah, so as you can see, Mark Whitley right there. Oh, and Nick Silver looks like he is trying to make a move on Nick Lights as well. So these guys, I mean, I don't know what they're, wasn't able to see whether they were able to take 2 or 4, but hey, they're definitely going after it right now.
Yeah, there's only 19 laps to go here in Kentucky, and unbelievable to see how this is unfolding, because there's been a lot of movement up front. A lot of strategy coming to play tonight. It's been fun to watch, as we've got a lot of green flag racing here at the Wheels America Cup Series on a Thursday. Fantastic. We got Josh Larson still up front now in the 51. Brandon Shelton in the 2, and Nick Lights in the 4. They're the 1, 2, and 3. Mark Whitley is going to be charging, though, because he's got fresh tires. He's got all 4, I believe. I could be wrong. And he's going to maybe looking up front here quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, and with Larson staying out, yeah, he looks like he's going to continue to stay out there. He's losing time too. Right now, Trevor's running about a 32.7. Josh Larson is running 33.1 with his last lap, and then if we look at Lights and Silver, they're in the 31. So as you can see here, Larson is getting past now. That's a hard way to lose. I mean, he had a good chance of possibly winning, but I think with that move right there, unfortunately, I think that's going to take Larson out of the running.
Yeah, Josh Larson and Brandon Shelton were the only 2 drivers on the lead lap, and with them going back into pits now, they're going to fall deep, and they're going to fall way back as we're going to see some new leaders up front, and everyone gets back onto that lead lap, as I believe Nick in the number 4 is going to be that guy. Could be wrong. And Mark Whitley now in 5th, going to be pressing the top of the field.
Oh, the 9s go! Nah, Nick Silver went for it there. But again, these guys know. These guys understand. Like we have to go. But again, I talked about it before. You got that chest. Caution is out.
And I think that's going to help out Brandon Shelton and Josh Larson, if I'm not correct.
Oh.
That was a huge caution.
Yeah, I don't know who was. Looks like I don't know who was leading at that time, but look like Lights is gonna take back the lead. Now this is going to change everything as we look back and see what exactly happened. It looked like Chris Vanderplatz and Robert Hassan. Oh,
Yeah, a little contact there, and he just stays up on the wall.
a little bit of an overcorrection, but unless he stopped on the track, that shouldn't have caused a caution.
Yeah, interesting that the caution did come out there because no one got too crazy. He got sideways, nothing like that. He just got in the wall, and caution comes out though. Now, Brandon, what are your thoughts now? As we were talking, we were saying we were doing a lot of green flag racing, but this changes everything. We always seem to get in this position where we think we know what's going on, and then our notes and what we're trying to say gets blown out of proportion. A lot of guys going in, as Mark is, I believe, out front. Is that Mark staying out? That's Brandon Shelton out front there. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, it looks like Flagship Motorsports is doing everything possible to win. We're putting some of their having some of their cars stay out, having some of their car pits. So they got some good strategies going on right now. But I don't know what you do because I don't know who has any sets of tires.
This has been a chess match for us, Brandon.
Absolutely, I think there's some guys who have tires, and I think there's some people who do not have any more tires. And I'm gonna be honest with you, no tires here, you're gonna be in the way, like capital in the way. So
yeah, you're going to get ran over is exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. It looks like Larson had just pitted, and looks like yeah, 'cause we have Light, Whitley, and Silver. So I think they came back down. I had to go back and look, but I believe they came back down. But I was trying to see if I can make sure that that was actually what the caution was for. 'Cause I just find that hard to believe that was the caution.
Yeah, you're right, Brandon. And there's some chatter. Race controls there, and I think it. I don't think the caution was granted, but it did come out. I think iRacing said, hey, that is a caution, and that's what's going to happen. But unfortunate for some of these drivers that are trying to figure this out and maybe been in a great position, but now after this caution, it changes everything for them. So interesting to see. We only have 14 laps to go. I think maybe 13, 12 laps when we go back green.
Yeah, if again, if you still had tires left, came down and you took your two sets of tires. But if you took two tires under that green flag pit stop, you have to take four. I don't know. I don't know what you do, honestly. It's Kentucky has always been weird with how the tires react and how the fuel works with the car and the combination here. So it's hard for me to say, they didn't run that many laps. They might have run, for Mark Whitley and Lights and Silver, maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 laps is how long they ran. So the tires are not that old, but again, I think there's some guys out here who could not pit because they didn't have any more tires. So
yeah, and we talked about that too, Brandon. We will see. We talked about it earlier. We had guys coming in pitting early and taking tires, but now late in the race they might not have anything left. So 13 laps to go, and they're choosing right now where they're going to be. The front 5 has changed up. Brandon Fetterplace started grid 12, now in that first position. Brandon Shelton in that second. Josh Larson in third. Nick Lights in fourth, and Mark Whitley in fifth. Those two guys, that 4 and that 7 of Nick and Mark, are going to be the guys to look out for. Very, very fun to watch here in Kentucky. We didn't think this was going to be happening, but it has. It's been great racing. A lot of green flag racing, and late in the race, we've got some cautions that changes up everything. Everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in right now. Wheels American Racing Network, we appreciate you being here. We're going to go green again here shortly, but Brandon, man, I can't believe what's unfolding. 12 laps to go. It's going to be a crapshoot. I mean, what are we going to do here?
Well, I got some breaking news for you guys. The 7 and the 4 both took 2 tires. The 9 of Nick Silver took 4. And Josh Larson is on freshies.
Oh,
because he did not put down any laps. So I had to go see if I can go back really quickly to see about the 34. But I think the 34 has been out. Yeah, he's been out for a couple laps. So I don't know if he's out of tires, but here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Your pick in that 51, Josh Larson. If he's got freshies, then man, I'll tell you what, he's going to be the one to try to beat and try to track down, because those guys with 2 tires, I don't know if that's going to last here right now. You still got 12 laps to go, 11 laps to go when we go green in Kentucky. Man, this is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds for sure.
All right, well, the pace car is off.
Pace car's off, and we're going to go green again here in Kentucky, man. Brandon Feder place up front there. Josh Larson right there in that second. Green flag is out. 12 laps to go. Non-stop action here in Kentucky. It's been great to be watching. Wow. 3 wide early into turn 1. And Brandon, and he saves it. Oh my goodness. We're going to go for John Wright. Losing it in turn 1. We thought he had it saved, but he didn't, and then he's gonna contact with somebody else. Oh man, did he get pushed here? Let's see what happened, Brandon.
Well, it looks like the 39 had made a move underneath the 9 of Nick Silver, and then probably squeezed him, and it looks like it pushed him up, and it tagged the 04.
Yeah, a little bit of checkup situation as that one car goes way low, and then we get into some contact.
Yeah, it looks like the 04 it came down a little bit, and Nick didn't have anywhere to go, so. And looked like Michael Lamphere with an innocent bystander there. That's gotta suck.
Yep. Michael's got quite a bit of damage after that too. 04 looked like he was pretty clean. Unfortunate, man. These guys are going to now start in the back and try to make their way through it, as we don't have much time left here. With 11 laps to go, 10 laps to go in Kentucky. This is unfortunate to be in this situation this late in the race.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised though. Looking back on that restart, I am surprised Larson did not get a better restart. As we're looking at the replay here, yeah, it looked like he just got squeezed. He's right with Jonathan Wright here. Yeah, so I don't even know if he even knew he was too wide. And I mean, it wasn't a lot, you know, there was a nose there, but, you know, it happened so fast, it's probably hard to react that quickly.
Yeah, I thought John saved it there for a split second, and then got loose again, and unfortunate, had some contact, and now I'm looking, he's in the pits. Gonna try to recover here, 9 laps to go, as the pace car is out. Man, we've had a lot of caution-free racing tonight, but late in this race, they're making they're not making mistakes, but I think they're pushing it harder than they have the whole race, and this is what's gonna happen a little bit. Brandon, 9 to go. What do you think right now? Does Brandon Feder place? Does he have the tires out front to keep the lead, or do you think Josh Larson and Nick are gonna catch him pretty quick?
Man, unfortunately, it needs to keep wrecking for the 34 to win. Unfortunately, I just don't think he has the tires right now to hold off Nick Lights. I mean, Nick has been fast. Larson seems like he's fast after a couple laps, or mainly on the long run. I mean, we even have the 65 up there, and unfortunately, he can go up there and get it done as well. So there's still a couple guys up there that could sneak out a win. Mark Whitley is back in technically 5th, but I mean, it's still a possibility for him. It's harder the further you get back, and now you're looking at Millie and Nick Silver. and I believe that's Matt Smith. Yes, Matt Smith in P8. Um, it's going to be hard for those guys the further back you are. The further back you are, the harder it is to pass. The closer you are to the front, the easier it is to pass. But you're going to have to be aggressive if you're the 34 car. You're going to have to probably block some runs from maybe Nick Lights and hope some cautions comes out. So it's it should be an interesting into the race here.
Yeah, we only we only have a certain amount of laps left, so can Brandon Fetterplace keep the rest of the field behind him? We are not sure that can happen because he is on some older tires than the rest of them. As Mitch Diamond, I believe he's on 2, and Mark Whitley is on 2. Your boy Josh Larson though is on 4 fresh tires, and we're gonna only have about 7 laps to go when we go back green. So interesting to see how this unfolds. Elite Performance 200 Wheels America Cup Series on a Thursday has not disappointed. We've had a lot of action here in Kentucky tonight. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Brandon, it's I'm speechless, man. This is fun. This is what we like to see on a Thursday night for Cup racing. Strategy, no cautions, and battling. And man, it's gonna unfold here quickly, and we shall see what happens.
Yeah, the best races are always the chess match races, in my opinion. They always provide good content. They provide great viewership because people want to stay tuned. People are more interested to see like okay, well the 34 stays out. Can he win? It just provides better uh racing in my opinion. Yes, maybe the track isn't the best because it's hard to pass as we again heard from Lights and Whitley. They both said it's really really hard to pass. But on these restarts, when they get jumbled up together like this, it provides some great battles. So we're gonna have another restart here. The 34 has to do its best to try not to spin the tires, and the 4 has to do its best to get a great launch, or at least try to stay side by side with the 34 going into the corner. So, and then Larson sitting P3, my pick. What does he do? Does he? I unfortunately don't know really if he has the short run speed. Really haven't seen him until the end of the runs. As we've seen he's really really fast toward the end of the run, but does he have anything for these two up front? We're about to find out.
We are about to find out. One guy, 65, that number 65, Mitch Diamond, he started 24th, now looking at 4th position. So he is up there in the mix. Good to see that happen tonight here. Also, that Joseph Mealy in that 39, he started 17th and 6th as the pace car is off. Brandon Fetterplace in that 34 is going to take us away. Green flag in Kentucky here. Just a second. 7 laps to go into this stage. Playoff points on the line. Green flag is underway. There they go. Brandon got a good jump. Nick Lights in that 4, following right behind as they're side by side. Single file 1-2. And let's see how this plays out. And caution is out again. Brandon is clapping right now because this is exactly what he wants to happen. Brandon Fetterplace in the 34, started 12th. He's on old tires. He's in the 1 position. I think he's happy right now, Brandon. I think that's what he wants to see.
Oh, for sure. That's exactly what he wants to see. But as we sit here and look back at this replay, ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, man, it's coming to the end of the race. You're trying to, like I said before, all these guys are trying to pick up as many spots as possible. But if you're gonna make the move, you gotta make the move. You can't hesitate. Like you gotta make it. And it looks like Shelton kind of hesitated a little bit and didn't come all the way down. I think if he did, then he's fine. But because he didn't, maybe he was told like at the last second, car low, and he hesitated, and then Monty tagged him in the left rear. So I mean, I really can't put any. Unfortunately, if I had to put blame on somebody, it would, like I said, it would probably be. Unfortunately, it had to be Shelton because, like I said before, if you're gonna make the move, you have to make that move. You can't hesitate. You're coming down to the end of these races, and these guys are going for it. So if you're gonna shut the door, shut the door. Don't leave it cracked open because somebody's gonna take advantage of it every time.
Absolutely. Monty in that 28, I don't think it's his fault. It's just a racing incident. Just came down on his front right. What can you do? Unfortunately for for the other driver there, as he's going to be banged up and going to be starting farther back in the pack. But man, we are under caution. I believe this is our 6th caution, but not a whole lot tonight. We've seen such great racing late in this race. Right now, guys are trying to get up there and get the points. But man, Brandon Fetter Place right now is happy. This is exactly what he needed to happen for him to stay up front, because he's on old tires, and now they've been under caution so many times. He might have a chance to actually hold them off, as we have 2 laps to go when we go green again, Brandon.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said earlier in the race, I talked to him earlier, and he was absolutely psyched for this race. He loves Kentucky. I'll be honest with you, I really don't know why. It's not my favorite track. It's really hard to pass, but man, he loves this track, and he wants to put on a great show, and he is right now, and he's got a hope for a caution. If it stays green, lights is gone. He's lights out, if you want to say that. But Fetter Place needs a caution. Ultimately, that's what he needs. If he does not get that caution, probably before turn 3, either Lights, Larson, or Whitley is gonna have the run on them. So, and it looks like when we restart, we're going to be under green white checkers. So, because we only get 1 green white checker, that's actually in his favor as well. Because once we have it, that's it. Race is over. Whoever is leading is the winner.
Yep. Wow. Mark Whitley, he's sitting there 4th. I think he's getting frustrated because he don't have much time to get through that top 1, 2, and 3. I know he does not like the position he's in right now. He's got a fast car. He's got 2 tires. And Mitch Diamond as well in that 24. He's in 5th. He's probably thinking the same thing. Man, I just don't understand. This is wild. It's coming down to the wire tonight in Kentucky, as they're going to be choosing. Looks like Brandon's going to take the inside. Nick's going to take the outside. Nothing's changed too much up there.
Yeah, so with this, and I will backtrack a little bit. I'm not sure what happened. I guess there was some extracurricular things that happened in the race I didn't hear, but it looks like Brandon Shelton, that was caught up in that wreck, has been removed from the server. So I'm not sure what happened with that. Some drama happened behind the scenes.
Yikes. That is a first for this season. So maybe words were said. Yeah. Unfortunate that he's gotten removed, and I'm sure there'll be some penalties for next race. We don't like to see that, but it's happened tonight here in Kentucky. Yeah, man, I'm not sure what that was all about, but man, that's too bad.
I'm just gonna go off and say heated tempers. That's more than likely what that was. These guys are passionate. They're very, very passionate about the races and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I know he had a lot of damage, and coming to the end of the race, it kind of just sucks to have that happen. But again, like I said, I couldn't put blame on Monty. Unfortunately, like I said, there was a hole, and you got to take it, and he hesitated. So, but anyway, we got the green white checker. Who's gonna get it done?
Who's gonna get it done?
34, the 4, get the 51, the 7. So you got teammates with Nick Lice and Josh Larson. Brandon Fetter Place and Mark Whitley are kind of by themselves. Mitch Diamond is also by himself up there, and then you have Nick Silver. That's Brandon Fetter Place's first teammate. And Nick Lice, Josh Larson has Millie. So,
yep.
I don't know. I don't know what happens here. I would like to see it finish, not under caution, but we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. It sounds like Shelton had an accident. Something broke. That was not a real kick, but we are live here right now. Brandon Fetter Place, in the 34 is going to take it. Green flag with 3 to go. 2 to go after they cross here in Kentucky. We've got a race under our hands here. Nick Lights, Josh Larson, Mark Whitley, and Mitch Diamond wrap up that top 5. What can they do? They've got to do it quick now as they're single file 1, 2, and 3, and side by side in the back.
Oh, big blue! Or Fetter Place. Oh, big turn in the background.
Looks like they're saving it though, Brandon. They are still green. 3 wide coming in. Contact there.
Oh,
They are
third place.
fighting for
Go to it.
position, Brandon.
Mark Whitley's on the hunt. I don't know if he can get there.
I don't know if he has time. We've got the white flag right now. Nick Light's now in front in the 4 car. Brandon Feder plays in second in the 34. Mark Whitley right behind. Can he make the move? Can he make the charge? I'm not sure.
Mark Whitley tagged the wall. Does Better Place throw it in there and try to tag him? I think he's too far back.
Too far back. Mark Whitley on the outside. Can he make a move on the 34? Brandon. Nick Light's out front. Looks like he's going to take the win here. Brandon and Mark battling. Mark gets on the inside, does not get it. I don't believe he's going to take third. Nick Lights with the win tonight in Kentucky. Brandon Feder placed in second. Mark Whitley in third. What a great race. And Brandon, I think they're wrecking in the back. Big wreck in the back as they're crossing the finish line.
Yeah, I see a lot of smoke. I'm not sure what happened there. To go back and look. Oh, look at this. Oh, they're squeezing. Oh.
4 wide as they cross the finish line here in Kentucky. There's room to do it, but man,
Okay.
that was wild. That was actually
to the white flag. That
was
wasn't even
the
a
white flag. Yeah, that was before. I'm corrected there. Wow, big wreck. Big contact.
Oh my goodness, they're wrecking back there. Wow. Well,
Man.
I mean, that's what you call going for it.
Nick Lights with the win, Brandon, in that 4. He did get past Brandon Feder place. I think the tires paid off for him as you see him. Victory lane doing some spins, and congratulations to him at Kentucky. He's going to get 5 points tonight in that playoff run.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get our drivers, top 3 drivers in here, see if we can grab them.
Hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Sorry,
Nick, you
yeah,
got a copy?
I got you. Yeah.
You're good. Nick, hey, you got to win. Congratulations, man, at Kentucky. You got past Brandon Feder place. Did you have fresher tires than him? Did you feel like you had a run on him? What were you thinking, man?
Yeah, that's crazy. I've been trying so hard for so long to get a win and to finally do it. But yeah, I think he stayed out there for that caution late with like 10 to go. And me and Whitley took 2 tires. That's what killed me in the truck race Tuesday. So I know I had to take 2 again or 2 this time to try to get some track position and stay in front of him. But it's crazy. Finally got one done. So.
Yeah, you got it done tonight here or today in Kentucky. I know you were getting frustrated because those cautions came out. Brandon was on older tires, so you saw the laps trickle down. But good job, Brandon. You got some words for Nick real quick.
Yeah, man, congratulations on your win. I know you were just saying you've been trying so hard to finally get a win in the Cup Series. I could have swore you already had one, but maybe not. But congratulations on your win, man. I know it's been a long time coming. Tell us, we got a couple sorry, not a couple, but we do have next week coming up, which unfortunately I'm kind of in shambles as I'm trying to figure out what the next track is. But
New Hampshire.
what's your plan? New Hampshire, sorry, is coming up next week. What's your plans and how you feel about that?
The truck race feel pretty good. With these cars, I have no idea. I haven't been there yet in those, I don't think. Or maybe we have. I don't remember. Either way, it's hopefully we can. Well, now we're in the playoffs, so we can play with a few things and strategy for the next one and see if we can't get another win.
All right,
Right
and that's going to be your third. Well, I'm sorry. Do you have anybody you want to shout out, sponsors, anything like that?
Yeah, shout out to the Flim Dogs, Flagship Motorsports, the team for this year. Everybody over there is great help. Everybody watching, you guys for doing the announcing on this, and yeah, excited for what's next.
All right, that's going to be your third place driver, Mr. Nick Lights.
First place.
First place.
Sorry,
Brandon, come on.
I screwed it up. Sorry.
His first win. Hey, congratulations, Nick. Man, it's fun to watch you. I appreciate it, and it was a good fun tonight. Anyways, we are going to bring in Brandon now. I believe AJ is Brandon coming in here. Yeah, we do. We do have Brandon with our second place finish here. Brandon, congratulations on that P2. Man, those cautions, I feel like we're giving you some love. What were you thinking sitting out there in front for at least 3 or 4 laps, and cautions kept coming out?
Well, I mean, I I was hoping that the one time I wanted a green white checker to fall my way, it would have been this time, but just wasn't meant to be. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I love this track. It's literally right down the road. So, I gave it all that I had. That's all I could do.
Absolutely. We had a lot of green flag racing tonight, and at the end there we had some cautions, but you stuck out there. I think you had some old tires, but Nick got past you. Congratulations still on that P2 finish. Brandon, you got some words for Mr. Fetter Place?
Yeah, man. I know personally how you're feeling. I've been in that boat a couple times when just need the caution to kind of fall my way and needed another one there, which they did wreck big. Uh, but it was
They really.
yeah, but unfortunately it was after they had after lights had already passed you. So, but we got New Hampshire coming up next week. How do you feel about that track coming up?
Last time I ran New Hampshire in these cars, I ran pretty well. I also kind of like that track. Obviously not as much as this one, but um, I seem to do halfway decent there, so I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
Okay. All right. And before you go, you got anybody want to shout out sponsorships or anything like that?
Um, Thanks to Ghost Energy for being on the car, um, friends and family, all the people watching the broadcast. Thank you. That's why we do this. Um, Thanks to my team, Bowie Esports, for all their help and all the coaching and all the practice. Other than that, see you fellas next week.
All right. That is going to be your P2 finisher, Mr. Brandon Featherplace.
Mr. Brandon Fetter Place P2 got the second place tonight. He wanted to get the win. But Mark Whitley now in that P3. He's going to be joining us. Mark, you got a copy.
Gotcha.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? You got third. I know you want that. I know you wanted that P1 tonight. The cautions continue to come out. What was your mindset when you kept seeing that and you saw Brandon up front and Nick Lights right behind? Man, late cautions.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be kind of hard to get around them, and we would just need to get really good restarts. And I got one really bad one, and after that, it was just about getting whatever I could. At the end, dirty air was such a big factor. I felt like I was faster than Nick in that one run we had, but every time I got near him, it just shoved the nose, and I almost hit the wall one time. Got checked up and had to race two other guys, and it got me slowed up. That's why I tried to pit early and see if we could try something. Didn't really work out with the caution. I thought maybe we could run with them and see what we could do on that green flag run. But after that, it was just about being lucky on the caution on the restarts. Got a little unlucky on one of them where I was trying to time it and it kind of rolled up on the card in front of me and I about hit them. So I lifted, and as soon as I lifted, they took off. So that might that might have been part of the reason we had one of those restart wrecks. I just was trying to time it and had to jump out of the gas, and as soon as I did, the leader went. So I got a real bad restart, and after that, it was just about just get what I could. I knew as long as Nick didn't mess up, he probably had to win because he had the fresher tires. So I was just hoping that maybe he would get loose or something, trying to go around the 34. Didn't really happen. 34 was he's sending the last lap. I was hoping I could maybe get a run off of the corner to get him, but it beat me to the line. So third place, dash for cash qualifier. With no practice, I'll take that.
Yep, absolutely. You were so consistent early on in the race. We thought we were going to walk away from it, but still excited. P3, you're in the playoffs, so that's what matters. And congratulations on that position that finished tonight. Brandon, you got something real quick for Mark?
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. Congratulations on your P3 there, sir. We got New Hampshire coming up next week. How do you feel about that?
New Hampshire's one of my better tracks, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a fun track. I really enjoy it. So hopefully we can go out there and maybe do a little bit better and get a P1.
Any sponsors you want to shout out to before you go?
Oh yeah, big shout out Brantley of Harpoon Designs, obviously putting together all my paint schemes. He's one of the sponsors here for League and just does awesome work. So go check him out, harpoondesign.com. He'll set you up with something really good. He's really fast on the work, so check him out. And shout out to my family tuning in these broadcaster races. I appreciate it. Always glad to have the support group behind me. And one final shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Should be fun to go back and watch.
All right, that is going to be your P3 finisher, Mr. Number 7 of Mark Whitley.
Brandon, are we gonna bring in Josh Larson? He finished P4. Are we gonna bring him tonight? Do we got him on the radio? Doesn't look like he's going to be in here tonight. Brandon, what are your thoughts for tonight? I thought Kentucky brought a lot of action. One of my favorite races of the season, to be honest with you. There was so much movement. There was so much strategy in play tonight. Man, what are your thoughts on tonight's race?
Yeah, overall it was really good. I always want more, and I wish that these guys could have been able to use more of the track. I would have loved to, as much as we did see, in 3 and 4 we saw, top to bottom cars. I would have loved to have been able to really see like these guys really be able to go after it. But it is what it is, and weather and plays a factor into it, and what the cars can do. And again, this was a whole new build for iRacing. So a lot of these guys came into it and they kind of didn't know what to expect. Rule of thumb, we kind of was kind of going off of maybe some practice of what they were feeling, and some of the races that we've done in years past, kind of what to expect. And it was similar, but it was a little different. These guys were, as hard as it was to pass, as you've now heard, you've heard it from Mark Whitley, you've heard it from Federer Place, and you've heard it from our winner Nick Lights. It was so difficult to pass here, and that's probably one of the things that's probably more frustrating for the drivers. But even with that, they were still able to put on a really good show, and they were able to definitely get passes done when they had to. And we got Nick Lights that got it done overall.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Nick Lights, man, number 4. Congratulations for the win tonight in Kentucky. Elite Performance 200 Wheels America Cup Series on a Thursday. Fantastic. We appreciate you all at home watching on YouTube, Wheels America Racing Network. Thank you for being here every Thursday. Next week, we got New Hampshire. Another fun track. It's going to be interesting to see how they battle that one. Big shout out to all our sponsors tonight: Wheels America, Admin Box, Flim Dogs, Units Moving Portable Storage, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Harpoon Designs, and of course Elite Performance. I want to thank everyone here. I want to thank Brandon, AJ, Steve. It's been fantastic, Brandon. Thanks for coming back tonight. We will be back next Thursday in New Hampshire. And as I say that, good night.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.